Hello friends, in today's lecture we will deal with the composition of nucleic acids. The nucleic acids are polynucleotides. They are consist of nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate molecules. The structure of these molecules and their organization, it is responsible for overall characteristics of nucleic acids, and that is why this topic is very important to understand the characteristics of DNA and RNA. I am Sudhakar and you are watching Science Knowledge with Sudhakar. In last video, we have seen that nucleic acids Na, they are polynucleotides. And they are linked with each other by a phosphodiester bond. So we can represent it as nucleotide 1 plus nucleotide 2 plus nucleotide 3 plus ... nucleotide N. And they are linked with each other by a bond which is called as phosphodiester bond. Now the single nucleotide, it consists of three molecules, namely nitrogen base, which is usually represented in a hexagon, plus a sugar molecule which is represented as a 5-membered ring, so pentagon, and a phosphate which is usually represented as a circle. So we have three components: nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate. Let us see one by one. There are 5 nitrogen bases which are common in nucleic acids, and they are adenine, guanine, purines and cytosine, thymine and uracil, the pyrimidines. Purine and pyrimidine. Now we will draw the structure of purines. So for purines there is a basic structure, and this basic structure is a benzene ring having a nitrogen at position number 1 and position number 3. And this benzene ring is linked with another ring which is called as imidazole ring. This is 5-membered ring having nitrogen at position number 7 and position number 9. Let us see how the elements are numbered in this ring. The first number is given to this nitrogen, so this will be the first molecule, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, then position number 7, 8 and 9. Now we know that the carbon, it has 4 valency, and to satisfy this valency of carbon there will be a double bond between 4th and 5th carbon. Similarly, there will be double bond between the 7th nitrogen and the 8th carbon. To balance them, there will be alternate double bond here also. So this is a basic structure of purines. 6-membered ring having nitrogen at position number 1, 3 and connected imidazole ring having nitrogen at position number 7 and 9. So this is position number 7. Okay, now how to draw adenine and guanine? Now it can be drawn with a simple trick. We have to just remember the additional groups to this basic structure. Now I will write the additional groups for adenine and for guanine. For adenine, the additional group is a 6NH2. Whereas for guanine, the additional group is 2 double bond O whereas for guanine the additional group is 2 NH2 and 6 double bond O. Now let us see how we can add these groups, additional groups to the basic structure. For adenine, firstly I will draw the basic structure. 6 membered ring connected with imidazole ring, numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nitrogen position, position number 1, position number 3, 7 and position number 9. Double bonds between carbon number 4 and 5, carbon nitrogen 7 and 8. Then double bonds are here alternately. Okay, so this is basic structure. Now we have to add NH2 at the 6th molecule. So 6th molecule is present here and we have to add NH2. So here I will add NH2 and this structure it becomes structure of adenine. Isn't it simple? Yes. Now you can draw the structure for guanine also. Just pause this video at this point and try to draw guanine, and in comment section write down whether you could successfully draw the guanine. Completed? Yes. I am sure that you might have drawn it correctly. Just for confirmation we will tally, and with the help of you I will draw the guanine also on the blackboard. So the basic structure, now without wasting much time I will draw the basic structure. Now what we have to add? We have to add NH2 at position number 2. So position number 2, where it is? 1, 2. So at the position number 2 we have to add NH2. NH2. Similarly at the position number 6 we have to add double bond O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here we have to add double bond O. Now we have to remember one thing, that the carbon it has 4 valencies, and therefore wherever carbon is present it must have 4 bonds. Similarly nitrogen has 3 valencies, so it must have 3 bonds. Let us check. Let us start with carbon. Here we have represented nothing, so this is the position of carbon. It shows bonds 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 bonds are present here. Nitrogen, then this is carbon, bond 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5th position, carbon, bond 1, 2, 3, 4. Satisfied. 6th position, there is again carbon connected with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here there is one additional bond. So this double bond it must be removed. So double bond between carbon 6 and the nitrogen at position 1 will be omitted. Instead this nitrogen it will be connected with hydrogen. So now the nitrogen it has 3 valency, 1, 2, 3, 3 bonds. Here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and last one 1, 2. So it must have additional hydrogen. So this is structure of guanine. Easy? Yes. Now we will try to draw the pyrimidines. Again the basic structure for pyrimidine. It is a 6-membered benzene ring having nitrogen present at position number 1 and position number 3. The numbering again it is similar to purines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Double bonds are present Between carbon number 4, 5, it might be present here and here also. So this is basic structure. Now we have to draw the structure for cytosine, thymine and for uracil. So additional groups for cytosine, it is 2 double bond O and 6 NH2. Okay. Then for thymine, the additional groups are 2 double bond O and 5 CH3 and 6 double bond O. And for uracil, I will write down here, it has 2 double bond O and 6 double bond O. Now you can draw the structure of all the pyrimidines. For better understanding, I will draw the structure of cytosine, then you can draw the thymine and uracil. So for cytosine, what will be there? A 6-membered ring having nitrogen at position 1 and 3 double bond here, here and here. We have to add double bond O at position number 2. So position number 2 double bond O. And at position number 6 we have to add NH2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here we have to add NH2. Now let us check for double bonds. Carbon here, bond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carbon 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But it must have 4 bonds. Right. So what we will do? The oxygen, it has already double bond. So we will not delete this one. We will delete the double bond between carbon number 2 and nitrogen number 3. Then carbon at position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. At carbon number 4, 1, 2, 3. So it will have 1 hydrogen additional. Carbon 5, 1, 2, 3 additional hydrogen. Carbon number 6, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 bonds are there. Now check for nitrogen. How many bonds should be there with nitrogen? 3 bonds. It has 3 valency. So this nitrogen, it has 1, 2 and 3 bonds. Okay. It has 1, 2. So additional hydrogen. So additional hydrogen is added at position number 3. And then this nitrogen, last one, it has 2 hydrogens and 1 bond here. So 3 bonds are there. So this is now the perfect structure for cytosine. Now stop this video and try to draw the structures for thymine and uracil. Finished? Let us check. For thymine I will draw it with yellow chalk. Nitrogen, nitrogen, double bond, double bond, double bond. Now we have to add double bond O at second position. So here I will add double bond O. Now as this carbon becomes with 5 bond, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have to omit 1 bond and that will be omitted from the ring. Then the next group, CH3, it is connected to the 5th carbon. So 5th position, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here we will add CH3. And then final one, the 6th carbon, 6th one connected with double bond O. Again check the number of bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 extra bond is there. So which one we will omit? We will delete it from the ring structure. Now check for the valency of this 4th number carbon, 1, 2, 3. Here there will be additional hydrogen and carbon number 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For nitrogen, 1, 2, third will be the hydrogen. For this nitrogen, 1, 2 and third will be hydrogen. Good. Whether your structure matches with this one? Good. The next one, uracil. So again I will change the color of the chalk uracil, a 6-membered ring having nitrogen, double bond, double bond, double bond. Then we have to add double bond O at position number 2. So here we have to remove the double bond from the ring. Then we have to add double bond at position number 6, double bond O. Now here again there is 5 bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will omit a double bond from a ring structure. Now check for the satisfaction of carbon number 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3. So fourth one hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, fourth one hydrogen. Similarly, the nitrogen will require one hydrogen and this nitrogen will require another hydrogen. So this is the structure of uracil. Isn't it easy? Just by remembering the basic structure for purine, we can draw adenine and guanine. Similarly, by remembering the basic structure for pyrimidines, we can draw cytosine, thymine and uracil. One more thing, in pyrimidines, we can also take a common thing, that is double bond O at position number 2. Okay, now let us move towards the sugar structure. Okay, so let us see the structure of sugar. The sugar which is present in nucleotides, it is always a pentose sugar. And this pentose sugar, it is characterized by presence of 5 carbons. So it is a 5 carbon structure. Now let us draw the structure of ribose sugar. So ribose sugar has a 5-membered ring, and in this 5-membered ring, one member is oxygen. So the carbon numbering will be like this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th carbon is present outside this ring. It is CH2OH. Each carbon must have 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, third bond is hydrogen and fourth one is OH. Similarly here, hydrogen and OH for third carbon, hydrogen and OH for fourth carbon, hydrogen and then CH2OH. So this is a structure of ribose sugar. Now again you have to note that the first carbon, it is linked with HOH, the second, third, it is also linked with HOH. Fourth carbon, it has H on one side and CH2OH, the 5th carbon outside the ring. Now we have to draw the another sugar which is deoxyribose sugar. Now the name itself suggests this is deoxyribose sugar. D, that means deleted, removed. What is removed? Oxygen. So one oxygen is removed from ribose sugar and ribose becomes deoxyribose. And that oxygen which is omitted, it is present here at the position number 2. So if we draw same structure without this oxygen at position number 2, then it will be deoxyribose sugar. Let us draw the structure of deoxyribose sugar. 5-membered ring with oxygen, the first carbon, it has HOH, second one H and H because the O it is omitted, third one HOH, fourth one H and 5th one CH2OH. Now this is a very simple structure for deoxyribose sugar. Now note that whenever it interact with nitrogen base, then the nitrogen will be always interacting with carbon number 1. So this OH is very important and it is involved in interaction with nitrogen base. Similarly, the fifth carbon, it is interacting with phosphate. So whenever the sugar interact with phosphate, it will interact with the help of fifth carbon. And in this way, sugar plus nitrogen forms nucleoside, and nitrogen, sugar plus phosphate will produce nucleotide. Then the final structure, that is the structure of phosphate. Phosphate is present in the form of H3PO4, and it has a P as a central molecule linked on 4 sides. On 3 sides there is OH, 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 and one side will have double bond O. So the final structure, it has how many hydrogens? 1, 2, 3, H3, P and O, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is H3PO4. Whenever it will interact with sugar with the help of this OH, OH. The water molecule will be removed. So this is condensation reaction, and the sugar nucleoside will be connected with phosphate. So basically we have drawn the structure of all nitrogen bases, all sugar types and phosphate molecule which is involved in nucleic acid. Now let us see how they interact with each other and how they form nucleotides. Now here I have drawn a sugar molecule. This sugar is pentose sugar. It has how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbons. So this is pentose sugar. Whether it is a ribose sugar or deoxyribose sugar, check the presence or absence of oxygen at position number 2. Position number 2, there is no oxygen. So this will be deoxyribose sugar. Now it has to interact with a nitrogen base. Now for simplicity, I will draw only a 6-membered structure instead of all the details, whether it is cytosine, thymine or uracil. And for purines, I will draw a double ringed structure without any details, so that we can understand that this is purine. So this is structure of purine. Here I have drawn a mirror image. So numbering will be like this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. This is mirror image. Here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now the interaction, it involves the nitrogen which is present at position number 3 or which is present at position number 9. Now this hydrogen which is present at third nitrogen, it will interact with this OH. And one water molecule, it will be removed, and this nitrogen, it will connect with the first carbon with the help of a hydrogen bond. So it will be linked here, and this reaction where there is removal of water, it is called as condensation reaction. Okay. So in this way, a nitrogen base plus sugar, now it produces nucleoside. Now note that whenever a purine interact with sugar, then for interaction the 9th nitrogen, it will take part in the reaction. Sugar, nitrogen base, and this interaction, it will be between carbon number 1 and nitrogen number 9. So bond will be produced here. So in this way we will have a nucleoside either with purine or with pyrimide. Then the next molecule is phosphate. So phosphate is involved in formation of nucleotide. Now here this OH which is present on 5th carbon and the OH which is present on phosphate, they will interact. Again they will release water molecule, and the fifth carbon will be connected with phosphate with the help of oxygen. So here the carbon will link with phosphate having oxygen in between. And in this way we will have nucleoside, nitrogen plus sugar plus phosphate, and this will become nucleotide. Isn't it simple? Yes. For sugar and nitrogen interaction, carbon number 1 of sugar, it is always participating in the reaction. Whereas for nucleoside and phosphate, carbon number 5th is involved in the reaction.